Greetings, hello, welcome everyone, welcome to DevChatter. My name is Brendan, and I am the host of the DevChatter live stream, and I would like to welcome everyone here. If it is your first time, feel free to greet everyone in chat or stay silent, up to you. Watch along, ask questions, get engaged. We're going to be doing some fun stuff today. I have an interesting one-off project that I think we can tackle just today. Hopefully all that goes well, but we'll see. Welcome Greendolf, welcome Coated Beard, and Twitly Doof, greetings. Hello, hello. Oh yeah, some nice Honest Dan emotes there. Yeah, I think you flipped those a little bit, probably intentional. Anyway, we're going to get started. We're going to do some cool stuff today. I want to do a little bit of an intro. So, the plan for today, is to build a little application, and it is going to be a system tray only application, and we're going to boot up a web server with it. So it'll be system tray only, but it's running its own web server, and on top of that we're going to have it connect into Twitch chat to accept commands from well, Twitch chat. The people chatting on Twitch, obviously. So that is the goal for the day. The things that we can do with that become extraordinary once you build that, because you can then just give someone a little application. They can put any files they want in there, because you essentially get to build the application with static file returns. They can connect in through SignalR and receive information. So essentially we could make it so whatever HTML page you want can receive SignalR information directly from Twitch chat. The types of things that you might receive are, you notice all these colors around me, these lights that keep blinking on and are like cyan right now, but you know, we could change them to any color that we want. Well, I want to give Twitch chat control of that kind of stuff for anybody, for any streamer that wants to use it. So essentially you'll just run this program. It'll be a little system tray icon down in the corner. You won't actually have to have anything really going anywhere, and you know, that page will run, and you can load it in OBS and show it. So really cool stuff that I think anyone that wants to build any streaming stuff will find useful. For anyone else, it's a cool look at how system tray app icons work. And yeah, let me go ahead and close that out. That was my testing there, just so I could see what I needed for that box. So what I want everybody to notice is down in that little spot under there, you'll notice that I put a second view so you can see the system tray while we actually build stuff, because we're going to be building a system tray application. My system tray is not on this display, so I needed to show that, so there you go. That's how you can see the system tray. Okay, let's take a look and make sure that we build everything the way that we want to. So I have set up a blank solution. Oh, a couple of things I want to make sure I mention. So, while I have you all here, before we actually dive into creating this project, I want to mention a couple of things. First off, if you haven't checked it out yet, I have been working on a new YouTube series that I'm calling DevChatter Basics. It is a series of videos where we are going over a basic concept in C# to make sure that everyone understands it thoroughly. So the idea being, we're not like deep diving into all the complexities of it, but we are trying to make sure that everyone has a good foundation of knowledge of that concept. So I am working on videos for interfaces right now, and I am also working on one about link. So interfaces and link are the ones I'm working on right now. We have an existing video that is up on extension methods and one on types. So feel free to check those out. They're over on our YouTube channel, which I will link in the chat. I didn't start my bot. Why didn't I start my bot? I don't know why I didn't start it, but I am going to go start it. Once I do link that, just know that our YouTube channel at youtube.com/c/devchatter has both the recordings of all of our past live episodes, as well as our DevChatter Basics series. If you are someone that is interested in chatting with me or the other DevChatter community members outside of our regular hosted streams, you can find us most of the time on our Discord. There's a link to that down below, and once I run this bot, I will go ahead and mention the same thing. Again, there's going to be a link in the chat for both the YouTube and for our Discord. Now, the program that we're building today, I have just put up on GitHub, so that code will be live as we build it and push, so anyone will be able to see that there. And I will toss that link into chat as well. So, bot's starting up now, and I will toss in some links. Okay, so bot is there. So there is the link to the YouTube, there is the link to our GitHub, and there is the link to our Discord. So feel free to click any of those and do the things with them. Alright, so here we are. We have a color switcher solution that I have created over here, and in this I want to create a new project. So in order to create a system tray application, so one that just just goes down and shrinks down to that spot only, the WinForms actually does it nicely. Now we have the option. We can either use a WPF application and reference the WinForms libraries and put it in there, or we can just do WinForms. Since we're not really going to have a UI, I see no reason for the added overhead of, referencing both sets. So I'm just going to make it a WinForms app. We don't have a UI anyway. So WinForms it is. Also, I should note that this is, at least, you don't have to do it with .NET Core. I'm doing .NET Core. You could do .NET Full Framework if you like. This is .NET Core 3. Yes, screened off it is. Good job asking the question. So we'll call this the color switcher. Yeah, there's not going to be a system tray cross-platform app because it won't work the same way. There's not WinForms cross-platform, so can I get away with naming this the same thing as the solution? I can't remember. We'll find out if this causes a problem. I guess I could .ui it. I'll .ui it, I guess? No? Yeah, we'll try that. I can't remember if that breaks anything. Can you make a console app run system tray? I don't know if you can, but I don't see any reason why you would. Gareth coming in with the 11-month streak. Wow, that is awesome. Thank you for the support, Gareth. And wow, one month until you get your Grenadon. That is awesome. We need some hype in the chat over that one. Please tell me. Oh no, I didn't restart the because I didn't start the bot before I did that. Hang on. All right, now I should be able to hype. There we go. Yeah, so when I didn't start the bot, it meant that I sat on the screen for a long time, and it was like, oh, I can't connect, and it gave up trying to connect. So it was gonna wait like a few minutes probably before it tried to connect to the screen again. Okay, so that was a thing. Okay, so when I create a WinForms app, a couple of things happen. It creates this form.cs. For now, here's what I think of form.cs. Form1.cs, bye. Bye! So, we talk about building a console application, but right now, this basically is a console application because I don't even have a single form on it. So, while it isn't a console app, it pretty much is. The only real difference is that it's using the Windows Desktop SDK, so that means it's not really a console app. It's not going to build as one. It's going to be a Windows executable file, and it'll be fine. Okay, so this is doing a thing. So right here, we run into our first problem. Not really a problem. And that is... I thought I had escaped that now, though. Gareth, we're not even going to have a form. I mean, it's WinForms, but there's no form. So relax, calm down. You're okay. This is a safe place. Safe place. So what we need to do first off is not run a form. So I don't want to run a form. I want to run. Let's call it. You know what? Color switcher. App context? You know what? Screw that. That's way too long. My app context. Boom. Done. So we're going to build this. I want to create a type myAppContext. Now, here's what happens. It creates an internal class called myAppContext, and look at this. This is how smart. This is why I always tell people about the importance of tooling. Yes, basically it is just win at that point. It is not a WinForm. Zultralord, we discussed that a minute ago. It could be, we can do this with WPF, but all we end up doing is running WPF and having WPF reference WinForms for its libraries. But since we have no UI, I just consider that overhead and we're not going to worry about it. I would like to ask one question related to your current solution. What do you think about DB query of T and EF and making views in the database system and just accessing via DB query? Oh, not related to my current solution. I was like, how's that related to this? I missed the not. I don't want to brain switch over to EF right now, so I apologize. I will not hit that one at the moment. Okay, so when I jump here, here's the cool thing. So my tooling, and this is why I recommend everyone, run something. Whether it's ReSharper, CodeRush, I don't care. Whether it's a free tool, if it's just Visual Studio, if you have some cool plugins for VS Code, I don't care what it is, find productivity tools that help you do your job. So right now, because I put this in here, I can create this as either a form or an application context, and it knows that this was the other option. So I didn't even have to remember that application context was the other choice for what to call an application.run. So there's my application context. Okay, so this is the program that I'm starting. So essentially, I'm creating the context of an application instead of loading a form. Okay, that's what we're building. And on this, I want to build a couple of things. And Zultralord is correct. If you check out our Discord, that is a great place to ask that kind of question. And yes, Gareth, it is just win. So, yep, there's no form, so it is just a win application. Okay, so how do we build a system tray app? We'll start there. Let's build that first. And as soon as we have that running, I'll show that, and then we can start adding in things like the ASP.NET Core web server. Okay, so step one. I need to create a notify icon. So let's make a new notify icon. So notify icon is the system tray icon, essentially. So colloquially, we all call it the system tray. I think it's supposed to be the notification tray. I don't know. Don't ask me. We never use the same word that they were saying we're supposed to use for that stuff anyway. Okay, so we have a notify icon. Once I create the notify icon, I need to do a couple of things with it. I need to set some properties. First off, I want to make sure it's visible. So we're going to set it visible true. The next thing that I want to do is I want to give it a context menu because we're going to want to click on it and exit. So let's build that. So when I build this, it can take a new array of menu items, of which I am going to put in one that I will say is new menu item. Let's do this. So there is exit menu item. I said we wanted to create exit, so we're going to do that. There's exit. And the properties of that, and I will get to chat in just a second, everyone. Wait, do I set them here, or is it constructor? It's constructor. Text. Exit. And I want an event handler, so we'll create a method, and we'll call it on exit click. Right? Whoops. Okay, so on exit click, we do something. Right now it's a throw an exception. Okay, what did chat say? I like the idea of your DB storing data in a format that it likes and reasonably... greetings, welcome. Also, I should say welcome everyone, glad to see you're all here. And hello, Omicron. Greetings, greetings. Okay, so what do we want to do? When we exit, we need to do a couple of things. So the first and most obvious one is we need to say application.exit. Cool. That'll exit the application. There's a problem with this. we also want to make sure that we get rid of our notify icon. So let's say visible equals false. So question, have you ever left an application or had an application crash that had a system tray icon? If you have, most likely what happened is its icon was still down there for some reason, and then you move your cursor over it and the icon disappears. Now, we're not being super careful about that, but if you don't make it invisible, it stays there. So you have to tell it, hey, make sure you hide. So okay, so we'll set it visible false. Yes, exactly, Gareth. We've all done that one before, and without consequence, when we throw an exception at some point, because we're going to throw an exception, we're going to miss something, and like we'll have the icon stay there. You'll see it. Like it's a thing when you build system tray icons. Okay, so we need to give it an icon. Now, let's say icon equals, and let's just do a new icon for now, which is not done. So that'll be the icon. Now, we need to get the data for that icon. Now, I actually prepped one of these before the stream. So I'm going to go grab that file, and I'm going to toss it in our folder so that we have an icon to use, because I was, planning ahead and was like, hey, we're going to need this. So, where's Open and Explorer? There we go. Okay. So I made a little DevChatter logo icon and made it available. Gareth, I agree, but with that comment about wanting everything to be iDisposable, I really want that iDisposable to always, work correctly. Okay, so here's our icon. It looks a little bit like that, so it's just a DevChatter logo inside of a circle. Cool. People will be able to see that and be like, hey, that's the DevChatter app. Cool. Alright, so I need to display that. Well, in order to display it, I need to do a couple of things. So I could either tell this to be content that is copied to the build directory so that when you run the application it's there, but I don't want people changing that. So instead, I am just going to make this an embedded resource that we use for that icon, and we won't need to copy it, we'll just do this. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do, hey Mr. Shoji, welcome, or for it all to just have destructors and work right. Yes, stack semantics for disposable types handled with the block syntax would be cool. Hey compiler, I know the lifetime of this object, don't... Yes, there are a lot of ways that we could handle a lot of that, like, cleanup stuff. And it's one of those, like... I'm sure there's a ton of complexity that most of us are not thinking about with that, and who knows? Oh, I get to do a cool thing. Okay, hang on. Everyone, I get to do a cool thing. We're talking about iDisposables. People brought it up. Thank you for bringing it up, by the way, everyone. So let's get the executing assembly. So I want to grab an embedded resource. There are a handful of ways you could do this. I'm just going to do an easy one, and I'm going to say use reflection. So that reflection, if you don't know what that is in C#, means that we're going to look at our own code, we're going to look at ourselves, we're going to look at our own DLL, and we're going to run stuff from it. So I'm going to say get manifest resource stream, and the name of that stream is, now this is the funny one, it is actually going to be a strange combination of a couple of things. It is going to be the color switcher. My caps locked. Color switcher. I must have hit that instead of shift. Color switcher. And then it's going to be this file name. So what I believe it's going to be, and we're going to find out really quickly if I'm right. Okay, so this should get us back a stream. If I didn't screw this up. Hang on, what is this? Hey compiler, ever use modern C++? Oh yeah, modern C++ is actually really nice. There's some really cool stuff that's been added to it. Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and create this. So stream, and why don't we call this the icon stream? because it's where we're going to grab our icon data from. So here's the thing I mentioned. I talked about how we were getting to use iDisposable. This is the cool point where we get to use iDisposable. So everybody's probably seen this syntax, where you create this and you have your you know, thing and the using and whatnot, and then you do your work in here, do stuff here, right? Yeah, we've all seen this. Well, welcome to modern C#, everyone. I just did the same thing. Whoops. Icon stream. So you no longer need to actually declare the using block. Instead, what will happen when you do this is it is going to treat this as the scope. So when the current scope ends, that's the one you've defined. So essentially I've wrapped everything in here in this scope. Works great. Blowly, welcome, greetings. Thank you for that follow, much appreciated. Okay, so let's do this just so you can see it. So there is our icon. So that should grab us an icon. We're using it there. We're doing that. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. We might have missed something. If we did, no big deal. We'll just fix it and try again. So let's build and debug this thing. Let's go. All right, so we're all watching that little system tray icon, and hey, what is this? I see a system tray icon right here with an exit. And it ended our debug session in Visual Studio, so that looks like it worked perfectly. So there's our little application. So keep watching that system tray. I'm going to run it again. And where is it? Where are you? Ah, dang it. Did it hide? Well, it decided to hide. So now I pulled it back out again. So it's out. There is the system tray icon again, and if I stop this, it should disappear, correct? Oh, stopping there doesn't get rid of it, see? Because we only checked for when you did exit. We didn't check if you closed it another way. So remember how I told you, if you don't set that icon invisible, to visible false, I should say, that it stays there until your cursor goes over it. So, hey, that's exactly the circumstance we talked about. So, we should fix this. So I'm going to say to do handle do this on other types of closing. Closing? Closing! I know how to type. Alright, I'm not going to fix that one right now. I don't care enough about getting that icon to disappear just yet, because I want to get our other cool things going. So here is this. This is basic to simplest system tray only app. So this is basically like one of the dead simplest system tray only applications you can build right here. Stupid simple, and I should pull this into its own file real fast. And I trust that tooling enough to just do this as a commit now. Move app context to own file. Bonk. Okay. Let's continue on. So, step 1 down. We've built a system tray only application. Step 2, let's make it host a web app. So let me go ahead and open up a browser, and I'm going to bring it up onto screen once I finish typing in the initial URL. Okay, so here's the initial URL. We're going to be connecting to localhost 5001. So as I said, application is not running yet, so there is nothing really to show. We could do it in WPF, but there's no reason to do it in WPF, because in order to do a system tray icon in WPF, you actually just reference the Windows Forms libraries to do it anyway. And since we have no UI at all, no UI, none, not a single form, there's no real reason to do it in WPF. There won't be a single screen. So the end difference between them is nothing. But welcome to the stream. Hello. Okay, so here we go. Step 1, I need to build a host for this. So let's go ahead and put one in the app context. So in addition to our notify icon, so notify icon being the system tray icon itself, we're going to do an iHost, and we're going to call it web host, I guess, because that name is decent. Now, iHost, I'm getting red flagged over, and there is a reason for that. I need to add in ASP.NET Core. So let's go ahead and add that. I do not have a reference to anything yet. So I guess let's go over here, browse, and we'll say Microsoft.ASP.NET ASP.NET Core. And I want, we're just going to do .app and pull in basically the whole set. Now the reason I want to grab basically the whole set is this. I want to get both the ability to host the server itself. I want to get the dependency resolution, so the DI container, the IOC container that it's going to have. And in addition, I want to make sure that we have SignalR included in this. So those are the aspects I want. I could just reference them individually, but it is generally, it is mentioned as the preferred way of doing things to just load in ASP.NET Core.app. So that's what we're going to include. Okay, so all that did was add this right here. I like having this be right up top. I like our dependencies being up there. That's generally the way that I like my CS project files to look. So let's go over to, whoops, not program, close that. We're no longer looking in there again. Okay, so now we have Microsoft Extensions hosting. So that's what allows us to have a web host. I'm going to compile, even though it doesn't do anything yet, just to confirm that our references all come in correctly, and it does. So now that we've got that, we want to go ahead and add in the actual use of this host. So inside of this same spot in here, I want to do one thing. I want to say, essentially host, do our like create builder thing that we do inside of every ASP.NET application. So if you've ever built any ASP.NET application, this code is usually written for you. And essentially we're going to say host, host dot create default builder, and then we need to do some stuff. So we don't have any arguments. We're not running from a command line or anything like that. So we're not going to receive any. And we want to say dot configure host. No, it should be web host. Hang on. Oh yeah, web host, and there's a class with pre-configured defaults. That's the one we want. Okay, and for this, let's do builder and say builder dot use startup. There it is. Okay, so this is the one that's gonna force us to do our next step, because everybody's probably wondering, how are you gonna run an ASP.NET application? Don't you need an ASP.NET application? And my answer to that is yes. Yes, I do. So configure services, and is this actually going to build it? Yes, it is. Okay, I don't need the context. I just need services. Okay, right there. And then dot build. And then underscore webhost dot start. Okay, so that'll start up my web service. Now everybody's going, but wait a minute, you still haven't done anything with use startup. You're right, I haven't. Let's go do that. Greetings, good afternoon. Hey, Fixture Jake. When you say you build a web server, what parts are we building and what are we expecting it to do? Writing a web server seems scary from a security standpoint. No. Sorry, not a web. Sorry, I said web server. I meant hosted. Like, we're gonna serve a web application. We're gonna start a web server. Create meaning like create an instance of one. We're not writing our own. Create an instance of one. Fixture Jake, good afternoon. Pudding, greetings, welcome. We're only using the system tray, no forms. So yeah, exactly. Only a system tray, no forms. All right, let's go ahead and make a web app. Let's do it. Web application. So here it is. It's not going to be called web application. Let's call it color switcher .web. Sure. Empty sounds good. I might regret that later. And configure for HTTPS. Now, if you're wondering why configure for HTTPS, that's actually because of how browsers make connections. So HTTPS is actually going to be faster, funny enough, for requesting resources and things like that. So if anyone is going to build it, it's a little bit better to do it that way. And specifically the browser that is used in OBS, so if you are doing overlay stuff like what we're doing here on the stream, it will not prompt for the confirmation when you don't actually have your security certificate signed. Because we'll be doing a self-signed certificate, which means that every browser everywhere is going to be like, whoa, that's dangerous. But they're really just worried because like we're not doing it for security reasons. We only really want traffic locally, so we just want local traffic only. And yes, Gareth. Yeah, no, we're not building. We're creating an instance of building, meaning like we call .build on the server, like right here, like that. Make one. All right, so we need startup. Let's add a reference to that project. So add a reference to the color switcher project. So I've added a web project, and you say, Brendan, you said we were hosting this in a WinForms app. What are you doing creating an ASP.NET application? Well, I made one, but it's really just there for like the project build. We're not actually going to use it. In fact, if I could delete this file, I would delete it. But let me show you what happens if I delete it. And now I go to build. Watch what happens. It says, program doesn't contain a static main. Oh, okay. We'll still have the other error, but that one goes away. Okay, so let's go back to this project. So we need a startup file. Let's do color switcher web startup. So we can just say web.startup right there. Perfect. Now I think all of our build errors go away. Do I have to call Barry? You know, I wouldn't mind his assistance with some things, Gareth. That'd be fine. Can we stub the main and make it do... Gareth, actually, I'm going to do something worse to it. So instead of stubbing it and making it do nothing, I'm going to get rid of this. And in fact, just to make sure it never runs, throw new invalid operation exception. How's that? Don't run this directly. There we go. So our program main throws an exception. Yeah. So you cannot run this. You should not run this. Don't run this. That's not how the app is supposed to go. So that program main is now shut down. It could be not implemented, except that I don't just want it to seem like there's something incomplete. I want you to know you were not supposed to do this. So that's really the idea. It's not that it's not implemented, it's that it is... yeah, exactly. It is intentionally turned off. Yep. Exactly. It's implemented as invalid. Okay, so now, so this is, I don't think this is going to shut down correctly, just heads up, because I haven't actually shut it down yet. So let's just see if it works at all. So the empty application should make a hello world page automatically. I didn't check that, but I believe that's what it does. So if you look, the system tray is there. So here it is, right here. So you can see the little cursor there. That's the system tray. So our app is running. That means this page should be able to load. Yep, that's a good sign, because it's saying it's not secure. Hello world, right there. Okay, so that means our web host is now running through that system tray app. So, cool. Oh, Greendolf is right. It should be expression bodied. I'll fix that, Greendolf, don't worry. Okay, so I've shut down the app. We already said that icon doesn't close. Let's check this. Did this close right when I did that? Okay, that page isn't reloading, so good. All right, so a full shutdown in Visual Studio does shut down the web server. I will do this to expression body. There we go. Let's run this again. So when we run this application, we see the system tray icon. We can load the web page. And this loads hello world. If I close from here, so we're down here right now in the system tray, and I go to exit, I think this is still going to be going. Yep, it's still going. Okay, so that's the next thing that we need to solve. We need to try to get that web app to shut down when they go to exit the system tray application. Exactly, get rid of those evil curly braces. So notice we're still even debugging. So getting rid of the system tray does not kill it anymore. The application context can keep running, and that's pretty bad. So let's go ahead and fix that. I thought that might happen. Okay, so let's try this and see what happens. Web host stop. Can I async this? Or do I need to like hide that away somewhere? Alright, well, we'll see what happens. Maybe we throw something, I don't know. I don't know if it'll be that easy. So we'll go ahead and start that. So the application's running. Yeah, according to it, I mean, we can task it, but there's nothing we can really do about it because we can't change the return type according to. So the way that we'll handle that, I'll show you in a little bit. There is a solution, and just to be clear, everyone has been taught that async void is bad, and in many cases it is, but you need to understand why you're avoiding it. And if you understand why you're avoiding it, when you see the implementation I create, you will understand that it did not need to be avoided in this case. So, but let me get to that first. So let's see, did this actually close? So I went to exit. It's not closing yet. We might need to do a step further. So, all right. Because we got a complaint about our stop async, we're obviously not going to get this app to close here. So let's go ahead and we'll get rid of that. We'll get rid of this. We'll have this run in the background. And the way we're going to do that is by borrowing an extension from our other application that does this same kind of thing. What is it called? I did this somewhere else. Okay. Let's do this so we don't get any complaints about it. Folder, extensions. So I'm going to extract this into a core application at some point, but I'm not going to bother just yet. We will make this the task extensions. And this will be a static class. Public static async void. And yes, this is an async void method. This will be the one. Run in background safely. And yes, it will be safely. Okay, so this is our static method. In order to make it an extension method, I have to say this task, task, yep, that one, task, and then action, and this will take an exception, and we'll say on exception. So the reason why an async void is bad is because you lose track of your stack trace. So that's the problem with it. You don't get the correct stack trace because you've allowed essentially you've made it so that the stack trace is thrown the way that the code was actually running and not the way the code was written. And so that's what causes the problem when you do a void like that. So we're going to do this with an on exception here. Can you change the project type of the web app to net standard and have it be a class library? Yes, exactly. Gareth is correct. Something should be async void. Gareth, I don't think so. If we want to be able to have our view files, if we ever create a view or a page, if we want to have those compile correctly, then we do need this to still use the web SDK and not be just a library. So important distinction. Great insight there. But we can't do that in this case. You like the extension method to make it clearer. Yes, so Gareth, what this is actually going to let us do is the extension method is going to allow us to handle the exception. And that's really what matters. Since we can handle the exception, we won't throw the exception and have that problem. You had a hole in your kitchen plumbing once. It was a sink void. All right, Gareth, you know what to do. Go ahead and ban Greendolf. No, I'm just kidding. Mods can't ban each other anyway. According to Bo, if someone accidentally awaited a void, wouldn't the application hang? Can you await a void? I don't think you can. You have to await a task. Okay. So, here's what we're going to build. This is going to be a try-catch block. I don't know if you've ever heard of these. It's a very cool thing. So we're going to catch an exception, which I like to call EX, and then we're going to call onException and pass in that exception. Boom! Okay, now we need to actually complete our task, and the way that we're going to do that is we're going to say await task, and do I want to configure await or just run it? We will. Continue on captured context. True to attempt to marshal the continuation back to the original context captured. I don't think that we need to, so we'll say that we don't need to return back on the same context because we don't have a UI thread really, so we don't care. So we'll do that. We don't need to come back to the same thread that we were on. We don't really have a UI thread. It's not a thing for us. So if there's, anything for us to run, go ahead and let us do that. Is chat blowing up at me? Let's see, hang on. I don't like them much. Prefer a nice result. Success failure type. Wait. Gareth, what don't you like? Is there a good result type in core effects if you make your own? I had to make my own or use a language extension or write a sure. Yes, of course he does. Okay, so... and just to be careful, I only want to call this if we actually have the on exception. Otherwise, we're going to really throw. So let's say on exception is... I need to go write this. So when on exception is not null, I need to go write my is not null thing. C# really needs that. It's not null. Instead of my having to do that. So if it's not null, come down here so you can run that. So let's go ahead and say that you can leave this null. If it's null, then we'll allow you to throw the exception. So this should allow us to run a background task with exception handling, basically. So when I go down here, I can say stop async and then add in this. And for my exception, we'll just make handle exception, because why not? I don't really know what we're going to do with it right now. So there is no console, and I didn't add a logger yet, so EX. But I am going to drop my breakpoint there, so that if we do throw an exception, we catch it, and I get to this point and can handle it. You've adopted the result pattern from Rust with an interface result in some T, and non-implementations and pattern matching. Greendolf, I would love to see what you're doing with that. It sounds really good. Have you thought about enabling nullable reference types? Gareth, so I do enable it in some projects. I wasn't going to bother with this one just because we're just tossing it together to see how it works. So we're just trying to build a basic application. So let's see if we can't stop this web host. So the reason I added this code is I want to see if it's throwing any exceptions. I want to make sure we're not throwing any exceptions is a better way of phrasing that. And I apologize everyone, I am actually going to kick on my AC so it's nice and cool in here. Might make a little bit of noise, we'll see. Okay, so application running, refresh, hello world is there, our system tray icon is down here. When I exit, we want it to run this. Ooh, what is this? Invalid out invoke or begin invoke cannot be called on a control until the window handle has been created. Ooh, I want to see where we are. What are the why did this open in the other window? Stack trace. Weird. I'm actually not sure what that one is. I'll be perfectly honest on that. That is a very generic message. Let's see. This means that invoke required can return false. I didn't think I was doing anything UI related. Yeah, I could do a safe invoke kind of thing, but that's not really what I'm doing. I think it's my application closed that triggered this. Let's try this. Exit. It says application is shutting down, but it hasn't shut down yet. Huh. Try that again. Why aren't you closing correctly, thing? Why aren't you closing correctly? Do I listen to any dev podcasts? There aren't any dev podcasts that I'm currently listening to on a regular basis. Though I hear good things about Steve's, but that's partially because I hear things about Steve's. Whereas I don't hear things about everyone's. Alright, let's drop that there. I want to see if I can figure out why that... You know what? I should be Googling this. This is the one no. No. Stop iHost. Sure, stop an iHosted service. I don't know. Yes, manually start, stop, and pause. Let's see. Stop async. No, I want to stop the one that's actually the ASP.NET one. You listen to .NET Rocks and coding blocks. What's Steve's, there you go. This is the one I was talking about, also. That's another one that's probably very good. Yeah, so stop. This is if it is a hosted service, but I don't really want to do that one. I want to stop and iHost. Yeah, this is the one. Hang when, wait, hang on. So yes, this is what we're doing. Yes, this is it. It's not actually unblocked until dispose, shutdowns, yeah, is to call something more than stop application. Concept has to be able to be disposed. I wonder if can we get away with this? Membership range for past section we yeah. Oh, this is funny. This is still being discussed, like right now. What is this? Add logging for the hanging case when calling. Huh. So this might not be fixed yet. Is the short answer of what it sounds like. Can I just call this? What's this require? Allows consumers an object reference is required for the non-static. I don't actually know how this method works. Let's see. After exit, web still connected? Yes, exactly. After we exit, the web is still connected. You listen to DevChatter, pretty good podcast, but I get the impression it's intended to be a visual format. Yeah, that is correct, Greendolph. If you watch these streams, you will see code. It's really cool. Wait, what is this? Stop application. Is it actually used anywhere? Yeah, where's life? Where'd you get lifetime though then? The stop action calls of iApplication lifetime. Oh, yeah, we could do that. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. My app context. So we could ask the web host for its application lifetime, potentially? Is that on it? This would get us the application. Stop application. That's just void. Let's see. You've installed Windows Insiders and your laptop gets significantly slower. Did anyone experience the same? I did not install the Windows Insider build. So I am not sure on that one. Let me get rid of that breakpoint that I added there. Do not want that there. Goodbye, breakpoint. Okay, so let's go ahead and exit the app. Does it kill it this time? Application is shutting down. It says it is. Doesn't seem to be doing that. Application started. Yeah, that's not how we shut down. We need to like really stop. We could technically do that, which would be funny. Come on, close. Close. That's funny. All it did was complain about that. Handle exception. You installed Insiders on a cheap Windows tablet and months later got cannot update your device followed by to access your device please update followed by please insert. Greendorf, that sounds like an awesome loop. Congratulations, you win a prize. No, still didn't kill it. Why is that not closing? Why won't it die? I think we're running into the problem that there might be a bug in ASP.NET. So we'll come back to this. Get this to close. Alright, so I won't worry about that right now. We can kill it through Visual Studio right now, so we'll fix that later. We'll dig into why that is, causing us issues. Alright, so that gets us our web app. Next thing that we need to do, we need to connect to Twitch chat, and we need to get static files. So that's two things we need to have happen. So, static files. Alright, step one. Folder. www root. So that gets us our www root folder. Then, inside of our startup, right over here. Oh, actually, before I create that www root folder, let me get us a commit. I want to commit first. Commit time. Yeah, that's fine, I think. Add hosted web app. So there's our hosted web app, add it in. Alright, so actually, you know what? Why aren't I just configuring services in the configure services over there? If we have that startup. Not doing anything here. It should run it in that one. let's make sure it calls this one. Throw new exception. Hi everybody. Let's make sure we throw this. Fastest way to make sure it hits that. I mean, I could put in a breakpoint, but I mean, come on. And then I didn't have to type in the breakpoint. There we go. So that runs. Cool. Services dot add SignalR. So we're going to add that. And I don't think we have anything else to add, because I'm pretty sure that we add statics over here, if I remember correctly. Static files. There we go. Oh, what are the static file options? Anything we want to do? Nope. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it for now then. So use static files is on. We have used SignalR, though we're not doing anything with it yet. I'll add an endpoint for it in a moment. Let's add in a folder. This one is the www root folder. So again, remember this web application, this one doesn't run. Everything's actually running through our client GUI application instead. So let's go ahead and create a file in here. New item. This is going to be, ooh, did it not, okay, good, it did. Let's call this, I don't know, index.html. ASP.NET. Ha ha ha, no. Maureen, hey, welcome, greetings. Hi. We'll do this cool thing in one stream. ASP, ha ha ha, no. Yeah, that's about right. All right, let's say hello from a file. So there we go. So I do not want this endpoint here anymore. Goodbye, endpoint. Let's run this again. Let's go application, and we're going to hop over here. So there's nothing at the root, but I don't have default files turned on, do I? Index.html. Oh, dang it. I said this a while ago. Because of the type of application this is, these files are actually with the running executable, not here. So that means we need to copy if newer. Those are content files now, which is not normal for a web application, because normally that copy only happens on a publish with a web application. But when you run in Visual Studio, it actually runs in place for those, using the local files. We're not doing that. So we do this instead. Hello from a file. So there we go. Now, did it do default files? No, it didn't. Okay, I didn't think so. So here's where we gotta go. So we go to index.html, and then we get this file. So perfect. We could add the configuration option for default files in our web host so that it would look for index.html and default and those sorts of things. But I see no reason to do that right now. So let's go ahead and stop that. So we have static files. So cool. That gets us this. Now we need to connect. So let's call this. I want to set up the actual communication here. So we can make this page work. That's cool. So this is adding static files. Yeah, that's right. Static file hosting. So we host static files now. Let's add in TwitchLib next. And where is it? I want user secrets, darn it. I need user secrets. Okay, well, we'll figure that out in a minute. I don't know why it's not there. So, TwitchLib. Hi, TwitchLib. Yes, come here, TwitchLib. Now, TwitchLib is a library that is open source, and it's a good group of people that build it. It makes connections to Twitch pretty easily. So in order to do that, I have to do a couple of things. That is, I need to set up a token, an access token. I have already done that for a bot account that will connect and be able to listen in chat. So we will use that in order to do this communication. Now, I need to add in user secrets, and I thought it was just going to let me do that from here, but apparently it doesn't want to. So, I am going to just go ahead and basically like force that in there and be like, no, do what I say, thing. So in here, I need to say user secrets ID, I think is what I do. And then I need to put in a GUID, so let's go to my create GUID and new GUID. There is my user secrets ID right there. And because I've got that in there, I think when I build this, fingers crossed, I don't know whether or not this context menu item has been added in for these. No, apparently it's not. So the web app would have shown it to me, but this one won't, I bet. I bet the web app just has it. Yeah, manage user secrets right there. Piece of junk. Anyway, not that that annoys me or anything. Alright, so there's our user secrets. Hang on. Let me load it off stream. Okay. Now, the thing that's really annoying, which I'm actually tempted to do, should I just do it? Hang on, let me show you all this. This is funny. What's the SDK on this one? So Microsoft.NET SDK Web. All right, now here, let me show you the annoying thing. .NET SDK Web. So I save this as a different project type, not building or anything like that. I click here, and I go manage user secrets, and then like boom, there's user secrets. All of a sudden, the context menu's there. And then I go back over here and I flip this back, and then I go, what was it? What was it? Windows Forms? Windows Desktop, that's what it is. And if I check now, hey, manage user secrets is gone, because they literally have it tied to what SDK type do you have. And that has literally been a problem the whole time. So this hunk of junk right here. Now I'm just going to open the containing folder because I want to be able to modify that. But that is so annoying that it's like that. Like, why didn't they just make it so like any app? I don't care what project it is, just if I want user secrets, why don't you just give me the context, you know, for user secrets? Like, why wouldn't I get that? Why is it only web? It makes no sense. None. I've brought it up a bunch of times. The team knows about it. They haven't fixed it yet. Okay. Let's add in another item. New item. App settings. Really? app settings.json. It is not what I want in my app settings. I instead want this to be, what, like, actually, why don't I just do this? Twitch settings. And this will be curly braces instead of square braces. Access token in secrets. And channel name DevChatter. And the first one is going to be user ID. Now, user IDs are actually public, so I'm not worried about that being inside of my user secrets file. That doesn't actually need to be there. Because as I said, it is public, so anyone could technically look up my user ID, your user ID, it doesn't matter. Because that's just your user ID. So that's my user ID right there. Well, not mine. That's the bot's user ID. So, okay. So I need to change the value that's in secrets to, the actual one. So give me a second. Hang on. Hang on. Do 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 And we're back with value modified. Okay, hope everybody liked the music. I was playing one of those elevator type tune. I don't know. Was it an elevator song? Was it hold music? I don't know what it was. But anyway, we're back, and it is time to make this stuff a work. So. I should actually, now that I think about it, adjust this. Because I did put in user ID, but just in case I need it, let's put in username as well. Which is going to be DevChatter bot. And actually, I just remembered that sometimes one time in the past, TwitchLib had an error where it was case sensitive, so I'm going to be a coward and put that in there. Okay, so we're doing that. Now, I need to make sure that this actually uses user secrets and pulls in the value as we want it to, so let me go ahead and do this. I need to make sure that our application does the right thing in running this. Does this run out of here, or does it run out of there? Let's turn on this CS. Hang on. No. What am I doing? Configuration, I guess. You know what? I don't remember exactly how to set that up. It's the thing you set up like once and then you don't do anymore. Yeah, it's not that secret. We know. Cool. It's just a don't have it in here kind of thing. Yeah, got that. How do I make my app use them? Okay, so we're saying add user secrets is just a thing that we do inside of... Are they doing that inside of configure? Not inside of configure services, so app dot... No. Must be up here. Is it not up here? What? Did they get rid of it? Does it just automatically wire up now? I forget how it works. Yeah, I got it. Okay, but what's configure on? Which one is that? Your thing is terrible, Elma. Didn't actually tell me the types. You need to tell me the types. You gotta tell me the types. Yeah, I did my user secrets ID. Yep. Yep. We're past all that. We should have those automatically from having it. ASP.NET Core.app. Services configure. Do we not need to specify user secrets then? Apparently we don't have to specify user secrets anymore. Is what it looks like. It looks like that just happens automatically. So we'll just do that. So services.configure, and we'll configure what our section is. Let's see, configure Twitch settings. And then we do a configuration section. Okay, so funny enough, this is the same thing that my other stuff was doing. I was actually looking at our other application. Previous one that I built. Hey, Link Slumps. Yeah, because this is what I did elsewhere. Whoops. I can copy paste. I totally know how. Twitch settings. So I don't have configuration. Where did configuration come from? Which thing is it? It's going to be Microsoft Extensions configuration. Microsoft.extensions.configuration. Install. Let's see. You have a Laravel website and the vendors. SCSS. Check at the top of the service class. You need a configuration root, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, that's what I'm working on. Yes. Shumi, that's what I'm doing, but I have to add this package in order to do it. Does the answer make a C# application? It said, Link Slumps, I'm not, I didn't catch the question. Isn't loading. Any idea how to fix or where to start looking? Link Slumps, my thing would be to make sure that the SCSS is actually getting built into there. I would guess it's not getting compiled. That'd be my guess. Okay. Yep, doesn't know what Twitch settings is. So let's build Twitch settings. Again, I'm going to create a core project later, but for now, let's make Twitch settings. It is just going to be a class. It is going to have a string, user ID. How in the crap is string red? Resharper, I blame you for this. That's your style. So, username, user ID, access token, channel name. User ID. So we're going to comment that out for a second. Is it a configuration root? Is that what I'm using? I'm actually just using configuration. Ooh, did I use this in multiple places in here? Is that why I did it this way? That might be why I did it this way. Yeah, I just did configuration when I did it in mine. So you can get this can't be here. This I do need the core library. So let's make that core library right now. New project. This is going to be a .NET Core class library, and yes, it is going to be .NET Core because this is not absolutely not going to ever be a full framework thing. ColorSwitcher.core. And inside of ColorSwitcher.core, this I guess will be that Twitch settings file. Alright, let's rename the file to match the type name. Now let's get rid of this one here because we don't need it. This project needs a dependency on the core. Whoa, what, really? Whew! Do I need to restart Visual Studio or do I need to restart Visual Studio? Add a reference to core. I'd say I need to restart Visual Studio. Let's see. I think you need to use it through the constructor. Yes. So it is possible. So that's actually how I'm doing it in my other code. You could be right, Shumi. You work in IT, but you have zero coding experience. What would be my first step in getting into it? So the first step, install an IDE and try writing a little bit of code would be my recommendation. You don't need to do anything fancy. You don't need to do anything fun. I would say just start writing some stuff and then start learning more about how to do it. When you actually want to do a real application, find one that you think will be fun and interesting and that could keep your attention for a long time. So it either needs to be fun or it needs to be something that you yourself are going to use so you have motivation to build it. So try different stuff, choose a language. We actually have a series of like starting to code episodes that were designed as follow along episodes. Oh, son of a... I'm going to go restart that bot at some point, fix that bot at some point, but I haven't messed with it in forever, and it is doing stupid things. Find assemblies of what... Alright, you know what? Color switcher, goodbye. You're getting killed. There we go. Wonk. Color switcher. Whoops. Color switcher. Yeah, Pudding. We have a there's a Learn to Code series. We did it with we invited a gaming streamer onto the channel for some of the episodes, and we were teaching coding both to anyone that showed up as well as to our guest. So just simple applications, basic things, and we just walked through it at a pace that that we think people could follow along nicely. So feel free to check those out. I will get this going here in a second. Cross your fingers that this runs nicely, because I always have to wait for the app to actually shut down before we can get back in there. And welcome, who followed? Stupid AI GG. Thank you very much for that follow, much appreciated. If anyone else is in here and enjoying the stream, be sure to click that follow button. It's the best way to get notified when we go live. Link there on the YouTube. So we have playlists for a lot of the stuff we do here on stream. If you want to see a cool application with a gaming like integration, check out the Interactive 7 playlist on there, where we are connecting to Final Fantasy VII and giving chat control of a Final Fantasy VII game. So that is the fun stuff that we are building in here. Alright, so we'll do this exactly the same way as our other app, just so it wires up nicely. So, funny enough, this is actually how our bot works. So it actually has a startup that has a an iConfiguration in it, so I'm just going to copy-paste the code in. And it just does one of these. And then it has one of those. So then we just did configuration get section. So that's actually where I copy-pasted the first bit from, was that. So that should get us our configuration of the Twitch settings based on that. Now when I build, I think it's going to run. The restart of Visual Studio ought to fix that. Whenever there's stuff going weird that you can't explain, just try restarting the application. There's a chance something got borked somewhere. Okay, so remove that. We don't need it. So we have access to configuration. So services configure, create that. What did we do with that then? So that gets us our section. How do we then use this elsewhere in the app? Let me just reference my own code here, and we'll see where we go. Do I then just use it as dependency everywhere else that I need it, and it just wires up? Looks like the answer to that is potentially yes. So I registered an actual instance of it instead of using options. Okay, yeah, we could do that, or we could probably get away with options. Let's try it and see what happens. Let's try it. You're not super experienced with C#. You're no software dev, but seeing all these stuffs you build is kind of motivating. Pudding, seriously, if you wanna try it, follow along, contribute to one of our open source projects, whatever floats your boat. Okay, so that'll get us our Twitch settings. So once we run that, let's go back to our app context. I want to create another class. Let's call this call it chatbot. Lack of a better name for it. In its CTOR, let's see if we can iOptions this. Is it going to let us do iOptions of Twitch settings? Nope. You're willing to pull in Microsoft extensions, though. All right, don't pull it in that way. Whoops. Who was it in this one? No? I thought we specifically pulled in Microsoft extensions. Is this the one that gives us this? Is it extensions configuration? Let's confirm. Yep. That's the one. So we need this in here if we want to use it. Did they use iOptions? Yes. Okay. So that's the one that we need. So we'll include this into here. I options. Did that get us the extension options? Okay, what's that actually reference when I do that? Because I probably don't want it referencing whatever it referenced. Yeah, no. 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 No, no, no. No, 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 no. Absolutely not. I options. I options. Extensions options. Okay, so it was extensions options. My bad. There we go. Okay, so now I could do this, but I don't really want to do that because I don't really want the options. I want the value. DXWO, do I know any good frameworks that work well with Telnet? Oh, jeez, you're taking me back. A lot of video games allow a Telnet connection to the server, and I'm thinking of coding an admin tool for it. DXWO, that sounds awesome. I don't know of any frameworks that you're going to want to use for that. I have not done anything with Telnet in like 15 years, so it has been a while. No, that does sound really, really cool. I would love to know what you're like, what games specifically you're thinking about wiring into. But that sounds cool. Okay, so this should get us our Twitch settings, and let's make a public void start for now. So we'll create a chat bot. We'll go ahead and tell it to start, and then we'll say. What? This is the one that actually needs TwitchLib, right? Did I put it in this one? Yeah, I put it over here. I don't think I want it over there. I think I only... You know what? We'll put it in both places. So TwitchLib's going to be in both of these spots. The chatbot is going to... iTwitch client... Twitch client right there, so that'll get us a Twitch client, and then we're gonna say Twitch client dot connect Twitch client dot set credentials. That's what it is. Phew, forgot how wonky that is. Okay, so this is the credentials. Yep, credentials. Okay, what's in this constructor? So the Twitch username is going to be underscore settings dot username underscore settings dot access token. And is there anything else that goes with these? No. So that connection should happen. See, hey Brendan, sorry to bother you. No bother at all. Feel free to ask questions. You were wondering, do I open source the code where I host a web app and a WPF project that you demonstrated during your previous Twitch streams? Do I mind sharing? I'm kind of interested in understanding it more. Well, that's an interesting coincidence because this application we're working on right now is a simpler version of that. And while it's not in WPF, it is WinForms. The principle is exactly the same. You just do the setup inside of a slightly different thing. So we're building an application right now that runs as a system tray only. So it is WinForms because there's no UI, so there's no reason not to. It's lighter weight than WPF is going to be. So, yep, this is out there. Go to github.com/devchatter, and DXWO has already put our GitHub link there in the chat. Feel free to take a look. I am committing to this as we go here today and pushing it all. You've noticed that I have shortcuts for all the constructors and adding variables and functions. Is that a recent VS feature? So Pudding, Most of those have been in Visual Studio for a number of years. The explicit shortcuts I use are a different set. They're not the standard Visual Studio ones, but most of those are there. So the CTOR that I use to create a constructor, so that's this one, that is a default inside of Visual Studio. However, the CTOR F that I have here that will automatically wire up my defined fields, that is actually coming out of ReSharper. So different sets, but there are still a lot of snippets for those kinds of things that you're doing, and there are a lot of keyboard shortcuts for things like extracting variables and methods and those sorts of things as well. There are a lot of refactoring pieces that are built into Visual Studio now. So _Twitch _Twitch client dot on connected plus equals Twitch client on connected. Let's fix that name. Okay. Let me jump over to, what is this? No. Chatbot. I need an on message received, so I'm gonna do Twitch client dot on message received. Oops, not that version. I want this version. So that is when it receives and unconnected. You know what? Let's grab disconnected too. Okay. Initialize? Credentials and settings.channel. That's the one I wanted. Not set credentials, it's initialize. Glad I looked at that. Okay, so on disconnected, we're not going to do anything yet. On message received, we're not going to do anything yet. And on connected, why don't we add it on joined channel? Remove the redundant qualifiers from these. Okay, there we go. So when we join a channel, let's go ahead and say Twitch client dot send message, and we're gonna say first off e.channel, because that's the channel we're joining. We're gonna say hello from the bot. Okay. That ought to do it. Katrina, hey, welcome, greetings. Hello from the other side. Alright, so I need to run this somewhere. Starts up the web host. Web host, services, get service. Let's get the chat bot. Whoops. We're gonna get the chat bot and our chat bot. Start. Okay. So that should start up the chat bot. That'll start up the web host. Now when we register our dependencies, we're going to do that in startup over here. So I need to add in services dot add. We only ever want one chatbot. We should never have two. That would be disastrous if we had two. So we are going to add a singleton for that. Conlab, hey, welcome. Long time no see. Welcome back. What were the other dependencies of this? Anything? The I option should automatically wire up. I need the Twitch client. So I need to tell it, and also on this one, we absolutely never want more than one Twitch client. Ooh, that was bad. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. I was wrong. Shouldn't have done that. Because it did, wait, what? Well, I thought it was going to have done this. But I guess it didn't do that. So I don't know. I don't know why it let me do that without doing the other thing. But either way, it should work now. Let's go ahead and try it. Let's go. Let's do what? 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 Doesn't know how to run the profile IS Express? Son of a... You piece of... Oh my god, it didn't, did it? Oh, you piece of junk. Get out of here with that. Don't you dare add one of those files. No wonder it got all wonky before. I can't believe it added that. Visual Studio, what are you doing? Quit it. Okay, alright, I'm gonna have to do this with my hide screen up. I apologize, everyone. Sorry about the beginning. I was wondering, is it possible to use Azure Functions as an authentication server? Things like generate token is the best practice. You know, I don't know if there'd be a way to authenticate against an Azure function, like actually have it be the authentication service. I guess if we were talking to something, you might be able to do some approach by that, but I'm not sure on that one. I probably would recommend against it. It seems weird, but maybe. I've never seen someone try it. Honey Pop, greetings, welcome. It is a tray-only web server. We're hosting one in there. I didn't put like web server in the title, did I? What did I make the title of this? Hang on. What's the title of the stream? Oh yeah, we're serving. I guess I could say web host if people really want to complain about that one. System tray only hosted web app. There we go. It's named Color Switcher? Yeah, that's just happens to be the one we're doing. We're gonna let it do color switching stuff. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna have to put up the hide screen for a moment because I don't want anybody looking while we look at this. Sorry, everyone. I will still talk to you. That's how nice I am. I just want to see, did our settings come back as anything, or what's the... Okay, so it did not end up getting these values, so... Okay, so I options is null. Okay, so, yep. Everybody can come back now. I options null. Oh, did I not, ooh, I bet I know the problem. I bet I didn't do this. No, it's not any of the, it is content, and we copy if newer. I wonder if it's going to automatically find that file or not. Okay, well, I'll try it again. Hang on. Sorry, everyone. I guess it did not use the setting. It did not use the secrets. Okay, so it looks like it ran, but but it didn't use the secrets. So, I need to find out why. You can all come back for a moment. Welcome back. Where'd you go? Just kidding. Oh, this is the other app settings JSON that I don't think we use actually. Might be able to get rid of that. Okay, so did we have to tell it to user? Forget if we had to tell it to use it somewhere. Yeah, we tell it that, but do we ever tell it to use it? Configuration, okay, yeah, see, that's funny, doing the exact same thing I did. Configuration, use development, not pulling user secrets. Come on, Google. Yeah, what is this? Yeah. What do I say when we're actually running? How do I tell it, hey, make sure you're using these? Ah, here we go. In the startup constructor, only when the app runs in development. Yeah, that'll work. BNI hosting environment? No. What? You don't want me to use that? App. Configuration builder. Yeah. So that's on the configuration. So configuration dot oh, what's it under? Where is it? Does the secret squid need to be in the web project? No, Lucifer. We're running in this project, so it should be in this one. Configuration. Let's add user secrets actually on. It's an extension. An extension of what? It is this? Okay, so that using is already on there, so we should have this one. Add user secrets to an iConfiguration builder. Not the actual configuration itself. So maybe if I take in a configuration builder instead of a configuration, and then I say .build, that'll do it? Okay, so we'll do it this way. Which means we need this. What do they say to use instead of iHosting environment right now? iHosting environment. Yeah, what am I supposed to use? This type will be removed. The recommended alternative is an ASP.NET Core. Wait, hosting iWebHost environment. Okay, iWebHost environment. You know what? Now that I think about it, we set the environment. So there's no way around this. This is just how we're doing it. What am I smoking? We just have to do it this way. There is no environment. Add user secrets. Add a secret to the assembly that contains that type. Okay, so that's this type. Does user secrets, isn't that supposed to go in program CS? Entity Atom, isn't what supposed to go in program CS? Oh my God! Yes, this could go in there. Oh yeah, this could totally go in there. Yeah, that's a good call. You win. Atom wins, I think. Yes. Program.cs inside of this one. No, it's in the app context because it's not in program CS because we have to build it this way. It is right here because it is this. Whoops. Isn't it? Nope. Nope, we're going the other way, apparently. So I'm putting it here, because it works here. It works here, it's going here. It's going there. It's inside. Oh, yes! Ah, yeah, see? I've been streaming too long. We've been going too long. Yeah, it's in my context. Yes. Curlies. Too long the stream has gone. Whoops. Curly's going the other spot, Brendan. See? Too long on the stream. Too long. Builder dot secrets. What? Alright, hang on. Where are you, thing? Startup. Nope. My app context. Configuration. Nope, I must be smoking something, because it apparently doesn't go here. Yeah. Being human too long. Yeah, no. It doesn't seem to want to go there. So I'm going to do that real fast and then hop over into here and leave this like it is. Alright, so that should add user secrets. Alright, everybody, I'm tossing up the hide screen again. Build.add user secrets? Really? It can go there? Why does that not sound familiar? Well, I need to add the extension back in then. Nope. Yeah, I'm fine with the way it is, so we're gonna give up on that and just make it work. If there's a cool other way to make that happen, then awesome. Like let's look at that at some point. Hang on. Unable to resolve service iConfiguration builder. Son of a gun! Doesn't know what. Yep. That's what we get. That's what we get. It must include iConfiguration builder. That is a critical part. Because that's how we get it. Yes, the configuration builder class. This doesn't seem to show anything about it. I mean, to be fair, we're doing weird stuff here. What are we trying to call on it? We're calling add user secrets. So they're just building the configuration. I guess if we just set our own configuration, we could get away with this. We just have to create our own. So I guess we'll do that. App settings JSON, add environment variables, and add user secrets. And the user secrets actually come from my app. Ooh, crap. This does have to happen over there. This does have to happen over there. This has to happen there. It cannot happen over here. It has to happen over here. So, what does that mean? That means we need to configure something else. Configure app configuration? My app context. Which this was probably the default to begin with. There we go. Coding Gorilla, yeah, we're done at core 3. Sorry, Entity Adam. Yeah. Confusing stuff. I apologize, everyone, for that. That got a little weird there. I totally forgot to do this. Well, that worked finally. Hello from the bot. So, nice. The bot can receive the messages. That is good news. Alright, next step. We need to have access to something. Let's have a look at our SignalR code. So we have not written that yet. So we now have a chat bot, can connect to Twitch, get in the channel, and talk with us. Excellent. Next thing we need to do, we need to make sure that this bot has access to our hubs. So let's go ahead and create a folder of hubs. We're going to call this first one Color Hub, and Color Hub is going to be of type Hub of T. We're going to make this an iColor notification. iColor notification is going to be an interface, and in that interface we are going to have a task. Yep, that's the correct task. Color changed. And string color. Literally it. Just pass a string of the color. Okay. So now in order to make that actually, have any purpose for existing, we need to create another thing that we'll call this needs to trigger from here. This needs to know about the hub, but the emitter doesn't. So let's create an interface. We're going to call it iColor emitter. So because of the way that we have our dependencies, we need to declare a dependency we need to declare our interface in the core to create the actual implementation over here in the web, because our implementation needs to know about this hub. DG Luxman, welcome. Thanks for the follow, much appreciated. It is bot time. Okay, so we created that. Now that we have the emitter needs to do something, and that is it needs to have a task of show new color that'll take in the color. Okay, so this is what our code needs. So the chatbot needs a color emitter. This we're going to save as a field. Now, we probably should wire up something that actually manages this communication, not put it directly in the chatbot, but we're just wiring it together initially to just get this kind of working. So let's create a folder of emitters alongside the hubs. So this will be a color hub, maybe it's just the color emitter. It's just the color emitter. And it is an eye color emitter. And in order to be one, it has to have that show new color. Now, the next thing that we need to do is add in a constructor that takes in a special thing. It needs to take in a hub context. The hub context is basically like it's sort of like the instance of the hub that we want to get. So we're going to say color hub, because that's the hub we just wrote a minute ago. And can we get away with that? I thought I needed to... What's my color hub? Thought it was going to need me to do something else. That should have asked me to make it, that should have asked me for its interface. Okay, return colorhub.clients.all. Yeah, it doesn't have the type. It should have been one of these. Why wasn't that presented as an option for me in IntelliSense? Okay, I'm not sure. Either way, it works now. I don't know why IntelliSense didn't help me there. So thanks, IntelliSense, for not helping me out. That was really swell. It looked like you had two of them. It looked like... Oh, was... okay, sorry, Coding Girl. I must not have seen it. I was looking specifically for it and didn't see it there, and I was like... Okay, what am I supposed to... Okay, well, I'm apparently blind then. I don't know. Thanks, Coding Girl. I don't know why I didn't see it. I couldn't see it there. I was like, it should be there. Like, that's how you always call this. So this is actually a pattern that we have been using for a long time here on the stream. We use this in our chatbot back over a year ago when we were working on that. We have also used it on basically everything we've been doing. Dungeon Smasher, welcome! You made it to the stream! Basically all we're doing is we're creating an app context instead of running a Windows form inside of our Windows form app. So in that app context we create a notify icon. That notify icon, when we tell it to show, is actually just going to put a little notification icon or in the system tray. And that's basically all we do. So literally the code that makes that work is this. Right here. That code makes a system tray icon. So we grab the icon from inside of our DLL because we have the actual ICO file embedded. We make a little icon object out of it. We create a notify icon type, and that's pretty much it. Just creating that thing does it. Okay. So that should make those wire up. Let's go to our index page, index.html, and in here, script, let's go steal some of our other code. Because I'm not going to write that again, because that's stupid. So for now, I'm just going to language JavaScript this thing, so it's just, a thing. And then this is basically how you connect a SignalR connection. So we're doing a color hub. Color changed. Color. And then, yeah, that looks fine. Start on error, we'll go through there. Okay. I guess we could say console log connected to... you know what? It's going to say that, I think, actually. I don't even think I need to message that. I think it's going to just say it on its own. Okay, so is color changed what we called it? I think it is. Color changed. It receives a color. Okay, so we'll just put a span here with an ID that is color. And what, like, we'll make the inner text be, like, the color, I guess. We'll say replace this. Okay, and then inside of our chat bot, in order to make this work, we're going to do one little check, and that is going to be on message received, e.chatmessage.username if e.chatmessage is broadcaster. That'll work. Yeah, we'll just say if it's the broadcaster, then color emitter.show new color e.chatmessage.message. So whatever I type into chat, it's going to fill into that little spot in the, I said inner text, right? Inner text, yeah. Okay. Is that going to work? We're about to find out if that's going to work. So here goes. System tray icon should load down in the corner. There it is. System tray icon has appeared. Invalid operation exception based on something. I didn't wire up the dependencies, so I did not wire up the emitter and everything like that. So we're going to wire up those dependencies real fast by doing a services.add. Ooh, the emitter. How frequently do we want to create those? Add transients. I color emitter is a color emitter. Do I need to specify the other one? We'll find out. Horkrine, hey, how you been? It has been a long time. Welcome back to the stream. Hello from the bot. Okay, hang on. Alright, so it says replace this. What's it say down here? Anything in the console? SignalR is not defined. It's almost like Brendan forgot to include the CDN referenced SignalR on the top of the file. Almost like that. It's totally not that. I would never have forgotten to include that at the top of the file. That is just absurd. I don't know what person would claim that I forgot to copy pasta that in there, because no way did I forget. Not a chance. Definitely did not happen. Okay, so Color Hub. Ooh, it didn't like Color Hub. Had your ups and downs. Oh, well, hopefully more ups than downs, but yes, welcome. You are games. You started a new job on Monday. Well, that is fun. Glad things are looking up. Always nice, even when things go wrong, to look on the bright side, because there's always good stuff still. Okay, so what is going on? Color Hub negotiate 404. So Color Hub, it's saying didn't exist. Didn't I create that? Did I not make it as Color Hub? Startup. Oh, I didn't make it. Derp. Endpoints hub. And it is Color Hub. I forgot to put it here. Yep, that's right, folks. Color Hub. That's literally all we forgot to do was that. Put in the actual endpoint. Just tell you gotta tell the web server, hey, we're gonna put a thing here. So if you haven't used the newest versions of ASP.NET Core, they now, the preferred way of doing things is defining endpoints as how you set this up. So if you are gonna use endpoints, you need to define them like this. So that's a new way of doing things. You'll see that in a lot of places. Okay, there we go. Now it is connected, so it says replace this. RIP. Inner text is not a function. Yeah, so I was apparently just being dumb here for a second. How can I get element by... where did I do that? Thing equal that. Is that how you do it? It's... yeah. I think I might have been smoking something. Sorry, everyone. Coding Gorilla. I think I'm smoking things. Hey, Sirlash, welcome. Greetings. Every once in a while, I get derpy. It happens. Yeah. Oh yeah, buddy. Look at that. Boom. My systray web app works. I can write here. Oh yeah. This is awesome. No, so we're not actually doing a message app, Coding Gorilla. But the neat thing about this is that it is all running out of a system tray icon. And it is also only me, and this is not actually what we're going to use it for. It's going to have a whole bunch of safeties on it, so it's not regular text. We're actually just going to do colors. So we're going to watch for someone to type something that is a color, and we are going to update this UI based on that color selection that you've made. So we've obviously built tons of overlay stuff before. We used to do this with our bot. That's how we did all of our old bot application stuff. Like this, for example, is triggered to the same kinds of things. Our Hangman game does the same thing. The roguelike that we were building, that's a stream overlay roguelike, all of that stuff is the same concept of, you know, building web pages that are communicating with a server over SignalR. That's how all of it works. But I figured I'd show it because it is cool that it is running out of that system tray icon. So it's just little system tray thing right there is what actually runs it, and it's pretty neat. And yes, Sirlash is correct. We are going to make it require that it actually be a color. So let's go. Is valid color. Is valid color. Color extensions. Is that where I have it? To color. As no. Is named color is okay. I could do it that way. I don't really like that. We could look for hex format. Let's do it that way. So we're going to do some color extensions. Static class, so step 1, public, static, boolean, is hex format, and let's go with this string text. Welcome, developers from Clark.io's stream. Greetings. Hello. Welcome. Is valid color is length equals 6, and all it is hex. Yeah, that would actually work. Greetings, welcome, hello everyone. Oh, hey, whoa, Copper Beardy, don't be doing that. Don't come in here with your stuff and your things. Raiders, I've got dinosaurs with swords. How dare you attack us, the good fine people of DevChatter, coming in here with your swords and shields and stuff? Welcome everyone. And Gary, coming in with the Yabba Dabba Doo bits. The Color King has joined. Color King? Who's the Color King? Welcome, Good Cheeseburgers. Welcome, Will Bennett, Coated Beard, and all the fun people saying hi in the chat. And I saw Wheatlaw a minute ago. And Wheatlaw, I agree with the good, fine people of... Wheatlaw, no. Wheatlaw, we were talking about everyone else. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to insult you. The good fine people of DevChatter, as well as Wheatlaw, who really needs a category of his own because it's Wheatlaw. There you go. You're welcome, Wheatlaw. Frackberg, greetings. Dinosaurs with swords, is that like sharks with lasers on their heads? No, because dinosaurs with swords need really long swords to reach things. Our dinosaurs also have little grabber thingies so that they can hold signs above their head because they can't reach above their head. But welcome. Oh, he does color stuff with his LED bulb. I didn't know that, but that's fun. Okay, so we're going to do a quick is hex format check. There's a couple of ways we could do that. So Wheatlaw's correct. One way that we could do that is we could do a quick little, text.length equals 4, or text.length equals 7. So with either one of those, and text 0 equals that character there. So those would be the basic check kinds of things that we could do. But I'd rather not do that because I already did this work once. So I'm not going to do this work again because I'm not a crazy person. I'm just going to do this because regexes really are the answers to all things in coding. As a joke, regexes are not the answers to all things, but they're actually not that bad. So we did this regex back on a previous DevChatter stream. It works pretty well. Essentially, all we wanted to do is, yeah, we could do it with a regex. We could do it with a million little checks because the problem is that I do want to require that it actually have the hash mark at the beginning because I think that's the best way to check it. I am going to require that the full text is this. So, for example, we're going to make it so that, that would make the text gray, but, if you said this, we would not accept it as a valid color and respond based on that. Welcome, Daniel. Thank you for that follow. Much appreciated. And if anyone else is in the stream and has not clicked the follow button, be sure to do so if you're enjoying the stream at all. So, as I said, we're going to do an is-hex format on this and do that little check. What do we want to do this? And thank you, Good Cheeseburgers. Thanks, Horcrine. Yeah. So we're going to say this. So, all right. Because regexes are confusing and I don't want to scare anyone off, I will give the quick explanation of how this regular expression works. Essentially, all that we are doing here is saying that we want to find essentially, we want to find 3 characters that are either 0 to 9 or A through F, either upper or lower case. So that means one of the hex values, so a hex number. We're looking for 3 of those, and we're looking for that to either be there once or twice. So that means there's either going to be 3 characters there or 6 characters there. And all of that is going to follow after a hash mark. So it's just going to be after the number sign. So that is going to indicate this is a color value that someone was typing in, and this is the value. Because we're allowing both 3 or 6, we want to write it this way. No, Coding Gorilla, we're not allowing an alpha channel on this, sorry. Maybe in a future update. But for now, we're sticking with no alpha channel. So yes, like what Janisku typed in, that right there would give you the color we've all, and I apologize if that was really loud, but I couldn't help myself. I just wanted to read because it sounded fun. All right, so that will go ahead and check whether or not that is a hex format. So where were we? We were just kind of hacking this into here. So for now, it'll be just me. And e.chatmessage.message is hex format. Then we want to show it. Is dead01. My favorite hex color, I will show you in a second once we get this program running. Alright, here we go. There's the best hex color right there. But that one does not go through. So it does do the check a little bit, so it is making sure that it only sends it if it is a hex color. So we can now force it to be a hex color. So if it's a hex color, cool, we'll do that. If it is not a hex color, I like to play on GOG. If you mean like the website that sells like games and stuff, that's a nice website. They've got a lot of good stuff. Not sponsored, by the way. I had to think for 2 seconds if that was legal. It is. He didn't go after F, so that's all you gotta. That's all you gotta check. As long as he didn't use any letters past F, he's good. Makes me wonder if there are any named colors that would qualify. Are there any named colors that would qualify as a hex color? Also, I don't know whether there are. Okay, so anyway, let's pull this out of here. So we're gonna say if it's a hex color, then well, first off, color equals. You know what, let's leave it blank. Color equals color dot from. Can I just pass in the hex or not? Known color. That'd be a predefined color. This is the one that we actually want to use. We want to use an ARGB color, I think, then, if we're going to do it this way. No, Carrie, it's not wired up yet. It's not wired up yet. Calm down. Calm down. Settle yourselves. All right. You know what, Internet? You're gonna solve this one for me. Yeah, about that. Hex string to color C#. Someone's written this before. I'm not writing this again. Color converter, convert from string. There you go. See? Had to exist. Crap, I bet we have the wrong type, don't we? Cannot access non-static method. It's a, oh my. It's not. What? What? I think it might be much easier to avoid the if color is a class from .NET and just use exceptions. I mean, we technically could, Wheatlol. WPF hex colors backwards. Are you going to run into problems here? We're not in WPF, Will. It's WinForms. It technically is, but we don't have a UI, so don't let WinForms scare you. There are no forms. It's not regular. Yeah, so convert from string e.chatMessage.message. Okay, so my problem is just this, apparently. Right? Yeah, okay. Now here's the question. Is how is that gonna null ref? Are you kidding me? Oh, this didn't do a thing. Oh my god. Raw. Had enough. No, get out of here. Stop it. Go. We're done. We're done. This is flipping. If it's not, return. There we go. Get out of here with your stuff. Too many layers. New color converter. I see people talking in chat. I see them talking. Color converter. Convert from string e.chatMessage.message. Perhaps your book is what? Control flow with exceptions is bad juju. Short answer, Janiscu. I have no idea why it's so breaking. Yes, Will, there's System Windows Media Color, I think, and System Drawing Color are the two separate colors. And that is a good point. I need to make sure I'm getting the right one. That is a very good point. Let me make sure I'm getting the right one. Whoops. Which I can't use because we are in here. That is a problem. Is this the System Windows Drawing Color Converter, though? How would that even be null? Okay. What do we do with this one? It's the name of the color? Do we just use color name? Is that what we use? Will that convert it to the correct one? What's this one? From HTML. Color string. What's this one do? What does this do if it fails? The color that, or empty if it's null or can't find it? It's not a valid, oh, okay, so it throws an exception if it's not a valid color. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so we'll do a swallowed exception of an invalid color and not even respond back to anybody. Gulp. So if they didn't give us a valid color, we will just throw the exception for now. Do nothing of invalid color. We'll do more with it later. But for now, that ought to actually just work. So that'll be our color. And now, just to make sure that that does go, we're going to do color translator to HTML color. So essentially sending it through the translator, because I don't think there's no validation on it. So yeah, so we'll just do that and see what happens. Coding Gorilla. Wait, did you tell me that before or after I did it? Yeah, I know. I need an equivalent of what Miller has with like the thing that draws his attention. I think converters for the media WPF. The only things that will rule. You could be wrong. Yeah, no. Will is correct. Will's correct. So for now, only I should be able to do this, and it should require that it's a valid color, which should allow the named colors through as well, I think. So the bot is here. That says replace this. Red works. Foo should not work. It doesn't. Hey, nice. It even expands those. So that didn't work. But FM7 does. Nice. So, roughly speaking, that does seem to actually do what we wanted it to do. So in that case, I might remove the check that requires that it be moderator only. And make it something else. Because now what that means is, yeah, it's sentient. We could bind and actually choose a color based on this. So, body. How do you set the... I forget... What's the basic styling for that? I don't remember how to do it with the DOM element. Document body style color equals that. Okay, yeah, that'll work. Derp. I'm used to doing with this with like, I would normally like bind it and set it to things. No way this could go wrong. Not at all. Hang on, Janiscu. Calm yourself. No way this could go wrong. Absolutely not. Replace this. Red. Yikes. Blue. That is perfect. Type stuff in. Come on, try colors. Alice Blue. There it is. That's Alice Blue, I think. What is it? It's, yeah. Yeah, all these colors work. There's the FF7 color. It's really nasty, actually. Hey, there you go. See? Nice colors. Cyan should work. There it is. So the cool thing is that now all you have to do is actually, so we just have to wire this up to actually be a screen overlay piece instead. So oh, Dead Zero 1's actually not that bad. White. Oh, someone already got someone got. Yep, these aren't they lovely colors? Lovely colors. We can actually do crazier stuff with this, but the neat thing is we've, you know, given chat control of this one. So if anyone hasn't seen, I did the same thing with Final Fantasy VII on some other streams. I've got a whole series of them that are out there. Are these still working, or do I need to restart my bot? I need to restart the other bot. Of course I do, because of course it crashed while we were doing stuff. We don't need those anymore. There we go. Wait till they get undead. Yeah, no, just kidding. We don't have to menu command this. Yellow. Green. Nice, Carrie, nice. Dark green. Oh, actually, let me blow all your mind. Check this out. This is gray. Now watch. Dark gray. Wait, what? Hang on. Gray. Dark gray. What? Why is gray darker than dark gray? What even is going on? HTML, what are you doing? What are you doing? That has never made sense to me. Yeah, I know, Sirlash. Hex codes, exactly. Yep, light gray. Will light gray work? I can't remember whether... what I can't remember is whether that color translator that we used, whether that will allow both gray with an E and gray with an A. Not everything does, so... Navy. Sirlash trying all the weird stuff. Purple. People eater. No, Sirlash. It's just basic HTML colors. Also, that hurts the eyes. There we go. Much better. Dark orange. Wait, what is it? What is it? Papaya Whip? Yeah, there it is. There's Papaya Whip. Best color right there. Oh, there goes the Papaya Whip. So the cool thing about it is that's all just running out of this system tray app right here. So this little system tray icon that you can see, I've got my system tray showing over there, but that is actually what this is running in. So that's what spins up this web server and makes all this work. So now all we need to do is take something fancy like editor, alerts and overlays, properties, cancel. Hang on. I'm doing a thing. I'll be with you all in a second. It is... HTML, hang on. Doing a thing. What would I need in order to make this work? Where do I grab that color from? Well, you know what? I can actually just save this into that location. Yes, play with the color while I do this thing that I'm trying to do. Need to go into my dev folder. On stream, this is the color switcher thing. Source, web, www root, There we go. What's going on? Drop database. Oh, yeah, that's totally going to work. Saddle Brown. Rainbow. Hey, Andre, actually, Rainbow works in our Final Fantasy VII app. Alright, so hang on. Let's go ahead and stop this for a second. I apologize whoever's trying all the colors. It's Carrie trying to overwhelm it with colors. Luckily, I closed it down before she could do that horrible thing she tried to do. Carrie trying to do all kinds of awful stuff to this. Copy if newer. Alright, let's put this at the top of the file. Top of the file to you. Okay, close. I forgot I just hacked this in this way. I forgot just quite how hacked in this was. URL parameters. Okay, so init is the thing that actually goes. So query color is not the thing that we want to do. Query color line. Hang on. Query color line color is the one that we do. So we're gonna say line color equals color. Line color equals color. That's not a thing anymore. Draw. Okay. That might work. Let's find out if this works. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 11337 all the way. Something looked assembly-ish? No, I'm not doing anything assembly-ish in here. That's a different program where we're getting close to that, where we're doing all kinds of there is some coding that we've done here on the stream where we actually had to deal with bit shifting, and that's closer. That's like actual stuff. All right, so this is overlay.html. Let's try loading this and just see what happens. Okay, so you all might recognize this. Does that work? Oh my god, it's green! Woohoo! It works! Kind of. It's not like updating instantly, but when we change it, the problem is when we change it, it restarts. I think we might have killed it. We might have killed it. So it's not perfect, but for just like shoving them together once. Carrie, look at so you know what? Here. I'm gonna make people stop for a second so that this settles down a little bit. Yeah, the color on here, like people actually have control of that now. So, for example, I could do this. Hang on. What? No. No, why would you think I wanted to do that? What would make you think I wanted to do that? Copy. Paste duplicate. Okay. Properties. Okay. So this... Hang on one second, everybody. I'm going. It takes me a second to do some of this stuff. Not a local... it sort of is a local file, actually. Okay, so we're going to have that be what we're connecting to. won't this connect? I guess I could do this. There we go. Okay, now it'll connect. Alright, so that should now be the actual one that we control. There we go. It works. Congrats, chat. You have a question before you go to sleep. So first off, if anyone else is new here, oh dang it, I didn't, you know, I said a while ago, hey, the bot stopped and I need to restart it, and then I didn't actually go and restart it. So I'm going to do that. Feel free to change the color. You actually have control of the color of the layout on here now. Hang on, Carrie, until this bot restarts, that hype command doesn't work. So give it a second. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Oh, I wonder if they're fighting. No, they shouldn't be. Oh, that one would have actually in there. Okay, yeah. Yes, so orange, there it is. White. So yeah, as I was saying, if you are new here, be sure to join our Discord, because that is the best place to chat with me or any of the other viewers outside of the stream. And if you haven't clicked that follow button yet, make sure you do so, as that is the best way to make sure you catch our future streams and that you don't miss any of this fun stuff that we build. So today, from scratch, starting from nothing, we have written a bot that connects to Twitch that is running as a system tray only icon. It is this icon you see down here. That is the only remnant of this application. There is no UI that had to load up anywhere. That is actually running a web, there's a web server running through that is displaying the color that we use to show up on this screen, and Carrie cannot spell that color, so I will spell it for her. There you go. Congratulations, we fixed the color. So, this is now an overlay that can run on the stream. We set it up, we even wired it up to the stream right there, and boom, like, from nothing to a WinForms app running a web app that is connecting onto a stream and displaying. Like, that is crazy. So, really awesome stuff, fantastic libraries from everyone, really awesome tools. If you haven't tried that, like, I think this ought to encourage people to build some cool stuff like this. So, something that I need to do now is I'm going to take this code here, and anyone that watches Code Rushed, if you don't watch Code Rushed, you should. Mark Miller is amazing. I am actually going to jump into some of his code soon, because he did a really cool thing with converting a video file into PNG files so he can play them in a sequence and display animations. So I want to do that on a stream so that I can actually have animations play and have their color be shifted and controlled by chat. So that is what I want to be able to do, is have like literal video run. Yeah, so my animations will never be anywhere near as good as Mark's. Mark is amazing. But I do hope that that I can at least do some cool stuff. Carrie, quit trying to overwhelm it. Stop it. Yeah. Yes, Mark's animations are really awesome stuff. So I think those colors are still shifting from the stuff Carrie's doing. Isn't that how you perform video processing as well, by turning each frame into a picture? Yeah, Pudding, that pretty much is how you do it. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to hue shift those so that the animation can just be like non-colored, and we'll just apply the correct color to it. So we can show things in whatever color we want then. So it'll be a neat little trick. Did we totally kill the animation with that? Wonk. Yeah. So, we'll take a look. As I said, it's just basically wired together. There's nothing fancy with it right now. It is pretty simple, but it is kind of cool that we can do that. We might need to limit down the number of times the same person can send in, you know, requests so that we don't, you know, spam the heck out of the overlay, because I did not really do much checking of it. It's just kind of in there. So, yep, neat stuff. So the fun part is that even if I disconnect the app, then this page does still keep running. Gradients. So yeah, we can do gradients and things like that as well. There's a lot of different stuff we can do with it. Cheeseburger. We can do pretty much whatever we want. Like anything that we could do in HTML, we can do on that screen. So there's not really much limit. It would be cool to have it pick colors out of sentences so that the overlay just sort of reacts to normal chatter in the channel. Yeah, so Coding Gorilla, we could do that, but I did want it to be intentional. And Carrie wins for the trolliest suggestion in here today with the suggestion of a blink tag. So the cool thing, Cheeseburger, is that you can actually do a lot of interesting stuff with gradients. If you take a look at seriously, go take a look at our past videos. We have been working on an application that is a Final Fantasy VII integration. So we adjust the menu colors in that, and it actually does 4-color menu adjustment based on chat commands. That one's designed to be a much more significant app. This was just a proof of concept, throw the whole thing together, and show everybody the cool stuff that you can build. So, neat stuff. Good Cheeseburger. Yeah, if you actually like Final Fantasy VII, you have got to check it out. I think you'll find it an arid tag. Holy cow, it's, oh my man, arid tag. I don't think you've been here in a year. Welcome back. Greetings. When was the last time you caught a stream? If it wasn't a year, it seems like a year. That is a blast from the past right there. Yes, we are still streaming. It probably was a year ago. But welcome. You might have noticed we're on episode 212 now, so we've been going for a while. It was the year 200,000 when Arid Tag was here. That could be. I don't remember. I'm not alive in that far in the future. But if you time travel, let me know. Speaking of which, if anyone is watching this in YouTube, then that means you sort of are in the future, because I post all of our videos to YouTube on a bit of a delay. So there was a video that came out this morning that is actually from last week. There will be a video coming on Friday on YouTube that is also from last week. And there will be one on Saturday. The Saturday one is going to be part of our DevChatter Basics series. If you're not watching our DevChatter Basics series and you are either a beginner programmer or are someone that just wants to make sure your foundation is strong, we are doing a series called DevChatter Basics, where we are covering some of those basic topics that are just valuable to make sure that you have a good understanding of as a programmer. So things like understanding how types work in C#, and what things are types. And we are working on a video on interfaces, and I'm also working on a video on, what is the other one? It's a thing, I'm working on it. It's Link, L-I-N-Q. So we're doing a video on Link and a video on interfaces. We already have one on extension methods. We're probably going to do something on Lambda expressions. We might cover, various other topics. It's really just what thing do we think would be good for people to work on? I actually created a poll for people to vote on some of those ideas, so I will toss that in the chat. So some of the things I'm thinking about doing are videos on concepts like, 5 ways to do X, and basically discussing the benefits and drawbacks of any given thing you might be doing. So, like, what's the actual difference between doing something in like a link select versus a for each or something like that. So whether you can kind of achieve the same thing depending on what you're building. If you're making a collection and one so those kinds of things. Yes, like a do while loop or a for. We could cover all the various loops and things like that and discuss how they work as well. So there's a lot of cool stuff with that. Definitely something that we will be doing more of, so keep watching for those. They are all like scripted, edited content, so not like this live one where we have this conversation, but there are some things in there that I think will be useful for people to understand. So do check those out. Cover how to do those loops without using the keywords. You mean without using the do while and the for keyword? You mean like using go-tos and such? Because those are just other keywords. And if you mean go-to is a keyword. Using link. Oh, okay, yeah. I get what you mean now. I thought you meant like doing like going that route, and then I was gonna be like, no. Like, and yeah, Wheatlaw, I'll show them how to unroll the loop manually so that they can, you know. If anyone doesn't know what that joke is, unrolling a loop basically means instead of having the loop, just have, you know, like if the loop was supposed to run 5 times, just, you know, copy the code 5 times. Yeah, that was a joke. Yes, we could cover how to do things like yielding and stuff like that. We're not going to be covering any old browsers, links, e-links, anything like that. Something I might be doing on a future stream, our WPF application that hosts the web app. So that's our Interactive 7 application, which is the Final Fantasy 7 integration. For that application, we are going to be... So we have a WPF app that runs an ASP.NET Core app. And I'm thinking of having a browser display something from the ASP.NET Core app inside of the WPF app, like kind of circular there. But there's a visual that's easier to represent in HTML than it is with the brushes in WPF. So I'm gonna go that route with it, only because I'm not great at like color, like drawing stuff in C# and WPF. That is not my specialty at all. If by VI you mean VS, like Visual Studio, then the answer to that is yes, cheeseburgers. I absolutely do use Visual Studio. Something else that I want to talk about for anyone that is interested in the Final Fantasy VII application that we're building. The Final Fantasy VII application does all kinds of neat stuff. In addition to letting the chat control the menu colors, it does things like allowing chat to bid on the names of the various characters so they can get renamed as you play. And we also have some features that allow chat to change the equipment of the characters, give the characters items. We've got ways for them to apply status effects to them mid-combat, so if you suddenly want a character to get poisoned or fall asleep, that kind of stuff can happen. Some really neat stuff, and looking forward to building some more with that. We'll be doing that on you know, the next stream. This was a one-off to build this application, and I think it went pretty well. Janisko, it's turned off right now. Notice nothing in the nothing in there. So Good Cheeseburger, Seventh Heaven is the way that most people apply mods to Final Fantasy VII. Our application is not actually a mod, and it works with most of the mods that run in Seventh Heaven. So if you are modding your version of Final Fantasy VII, you can still run our code against it. Yeah, so exactly. So, Arid Tag. The interesting thing along that is that I am planning on abstracting out the Final Fantasy VII parts of the code so that we can reuse it to be building it on Final Fantasy VIII or other games as well, because we could easily connect it to Final Fantasy VIII or Diablo 2. Now, keep in mind that with any of this stuff, we're obviously only going to be doing single-player games that people might stream, with the idea being that, you know, we don't want people using this for cheating and things like that. We want it to be used for, like, I mean, really, like, yeah, you could cheat with it, but I mean, you could just go grab anything and just cheat with the game, right? You could go download a program that has, like, a character editor or something like that and mess with games, right? The intention of this is to give interactivity so that chat can do these things to you, and it's kind of cool. So that's the stuff we're building. So yeah, it's neat stuff. We've got videos of it on YouTube. I have not open sourced that yet, but we will be doing that soon. We want to get to the release version, then we're going to toss that out there, make it available to other people, and I actually partnered up with someone that is building an overlay for it. So someone's doing like what I was doing here. They're building an overlay for it. They're not using SignalR or anything like that. And so I was like, hey, I can help you get that. Why don't we integrate your application into mine? Because I can, like when mine does stuff, I can have it tell yours about it, and we can integrate a little bit smoother. We're also accessing all the same data, so it's cool stuff. This would be great with UFO enemy unknown. Yes, Simon. I don't know, I don't know if we can trigger specifically certain enemies and things like that. So, it's cool stuff. Cheeseburger, welcome. I'm really glad you stopped by. Thank you for swinging in on that raid. I think you came in on the raid. I should mention, anyone that's in here, if you haven't clicked the follow button, be sure to do so. It's the best way to get notified when we go live. And if you are interested in chatting with me or anyone else outside the stream, be sure to join our Discord. It is the best place to get, conversations going about stuff related to either coding or the stream or anything like that. So if you are interested in chatting with us, that is seriously the best place to go. It's a really good group. And, let's see. Also, if you do want to check out our code, go to GitHub. So github.com/devchatter has all the projects we work on here. So this is wire up the wire up the color changing Twitch connection. So that is it right there. That's the stuff. So that is all pushed out to GitHub now, so all the code we did here today is out there at github.com/devchatter. You'll be able to find our color switcher project to be able to take a look at what we built. It is some good stuff. It did not take us very long to build. Despite our having a couple of annoying headache problems, we've still got a few issues that we need to work out, a couple of tweaks. Things or stuff? Stuff and things. We like things and stuff and things, and both like we it's good. It's good. Good things, good stuff. Lastly, I do want to make sure I point everybody again to our YouTube. Seriously, do me a favor and subscribe to the YouTube, and feel free to follow on Twitter as well. I am going to roll a few credits, but don't go anywhere because we are going to raid another streamer so that we can, pass along some of the fun, as we are not the only ones that are streaming today. So, yeah. I think that people are probably interested in seeing some other stuff, so that is the plan. Let me go ahead and roll these, and we're going to go to the outro screen after we're done with the credits. And for anyone that is new here, we stream on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, which is why we're here on a Wednesday. First off, I want to thank Carrie for cheering those 500 biddies today. I want to thank our moderators for helping out to hang out with the chat and keep things orderly. I want to thank these wonderful people that followed us. And lastly, I want to make sure I thank Gareth for subscribing to our channel for the 11th month in a row, which is really awesome. Thank you, Gareth, for swinging by and hanging out. I want to make sure that I thank everybody that chatted today and got involved in any capacity, whether you were just sitting around and watching the stream and enjoying it, or whether you got involved in the conversation. Either way is wonderful. Arid Tag, I want to also mention that I don't think you're on that list anymore, are you? You couldn't possibly be on that list anymore, but maybe you are. And yes, I'm glad everyone found the stream. Seriously, click the follow button if you want to make sure that you get notified when we go live, and check out our Discord, as I do mention things about when the stream's actually going to happen in there, and talk about ideas and stuff like that. And there are usually conversations just generally about programming going on. So give that a look, and I will catch you all next time. So take care, everyone. Have a good one, and let's all swing into that raid. And if you have any of our subscriber emotes or anything like that, be sure to spam them in the chat when we get there. So thanks, happy coding, everyone, and I will see you tomorrow.